Glamorized Walmart greeter.
I am an enormous fan of our guest today. He is at Yuck Yuck starting tonight, all through weekend. Please welcome Canadian icon and trapdoor spider, Scott Thompson.
No, wolf.
You're the wolf.
I'm a wolf.
Okay, you got it right off the bat. Explain this trapdoor spider
Trapdoor
thing.
spider is, I do this routine
My favorite.
about bathhouses. And I know they don't exist anymore.
Sure.
Gay men are all getting married and pretending to be heterosexual and pretending that they're monogamous. But it's a routine about the way gay men are in a bathhouse. And there's two types. There's the trapdoor spiders who lay in wait in their cubicles. And then there's the wolves who prowl. So it's basically about, tops and bottoms, predators and victims. Prey.
Off to a great start, aren't we? Bathhouses. Scott Thompson. You've done a ton of TV, right? You've done almost every late night show.
Is this TV?
This is internet, so there's less rules here.
Okay.
All right. But you've done, everyone knows you from Kids in the Hall. We still watch that. Producer Jimmy's a huge fan.
Big fan. Hey,
All
Jimmy.
morning you were watching clips on YouTube. Yeah, you did so many characters there. The Queen.
Yeah.
Secretary Kathy, love her. And Buddy Cole, my best friend.
Yeah.
Did you know on Kids in the Hall, fun fact, maybe you do know, you should, you lived it, you played over 100 waiters
Yes,
on
I
that
did.
show?
Yes, I did. And I got a birthday party when I played my 100th waiter. Yes.
Oh, really? Were you ever a waiter in real life?
Oh, yes, I was a waiter.
Oh, geez.
I guess that joke got started because they made me all the waiters because the Kids in the Hall, and it's not really true, but in the lore of the Kids in the Hall, every time we went to a restaurant, there'd be a waiter, and I would turn to the other kids in the hall and go, I slept with him. That's not really true, but it happened maybe once or 17 times.
80% of the time, yeah.
And so they went, so that's why I was the go-to for the waiter.
We're in the age of reboots. Everyone's rebooting everything.
Yeah.
I saw you tweet about this rumor of a Kids in the Hall reunion.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yes.
Is it happening?
The rumor is true. I mean, nothing's a foregone conclusion, but it looks every day better.
Promising?
Better, yeah.
Wow.
When I saw you retweet that, I'm like, oh, that's an endorsement.
Yeah.
There's some truth here.
It's what we want. Whether that will happen or not, it remains to be seen. But it is what the five of us all want right now.
I hope. We all want it too, don't we?
And I think Lauren wants it.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll see.
All right, let's see.
I mean, a lot of it is, we're kind of like putting it out there, almost like magical thinking, so that it will happen. But it seems to be achieving a life of its own. And now we're in. The five of us are talking, and we're figuring out how we could do it.
Now, do you ever get scared now because comedy has changed so much because everyone's offended?
Yes.
Do you guys are you a little timid and a little hesitant?
Of course. Not hesitant. In a way, it's kind of the opposite. I can't wait to plunge into the outrage pool.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's the only time, that's when you realize that you matter again, is when you've pissed someone off.
Yeah.
And to me, it's very reminiscent of our time. Like when we were in our heyday, the late 80s, the early 90s, that was a very polarizing time. That was a time of great transition. It was when the Berlin Wall was falling, Russia was collapsing, there was Tiananmen Square, AIDS was coming, ravaging the world, and political correctness was very strong, but it was very strong, particularly in our community, and it was strangling us. But now, over the last 30 years, it's migrated out from the gay community and the feminism, etc., to destroy the world. It's now, I think, morphed into kind of a mainstream monster. Because there's this piece that we do, which is about an art school teacher trying to teach a class with a female nude model. And all the kids, they're all like social justice warriors. And it's done in the 90s, and it seems like it's today. But it's really, it was about what was happening then. But what was happening then was very much confined to like feminism and universities and the gay community. But now it's everywhere. And so I think it's a perfect time for us to come back. Because when we were on top of our game, we're not on top of our game. When we were big, the world was like, it was all about straight white guys in suits, right? But it's not like that now. Straight white guys in suits now are on the ground, and we're kicking the crap out of them.
But you get in more trouble now, I find. Like, you lose
you can
actual
get into
jobs.
yes, that's the difference. You can get into actual trouble now because everybody's terrified. And I fully expect that if the Kids in the Hall do come back to television, we will get into some trouble. But I'm hoping that we can stick to our guns and just go, it's just comedy.
Well, you have a popular quote I
Right.
love about this. You said comedians have a sacred role to ignore political correctness
Yes, they
and
do.
ignore taboos.
They do.
That's our job.
Yes, and it's a sacred job.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of comedians today are so frightened by the political climate that they're dropping their ball.
Yeah.
They are. Like, look at late night television. To me, a lot of people say, civilians say, oh, it's never been better, but I disagree. I think it's never been worse.
Ding!
Because all they do is talk to their their brand. You know what I mean? They're not doing anything to heal these divisions.
Yeah.
And comedy, it is a healer.
Yes.
And we've confused everything. These things that we do that make people uncomfortable are ultimately healing. Right?
They're there to face it dead on. Yeah.
Yes.
I
love
just
that.
have to show you all those hearts. There was just a slew of hearts
Were
coming
there?
in for
Are they
people that
still-
were
are they still
actually
hearty?
agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
It's true.
and I'm just saying, I'm very lucky, to be like a middle-aged straight white guy like me. If I was, I call myself straight.
Yeah.
Have things changed, Scott?
No.
Okay.
No, but I mean, like a middle-aged white guy like me can't say crap, but I'm gay, and that allows me to. And
You say it all the time.
I have a responsibility now because they're so terrified of saying boo.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, let's talk about some of the artists we've lost. I know.
a lot of leg.
Yeah, you are.
Bow, chicka,
the hearts
wow, wow.
Shows-
Actually,
as
they
I-
are. Look,
Yeah.
all of those. Show more legs. Show more.
Right as I try to segue into talking about dead people. Okay. You know, we lost Gord Downey yesterday. I saw
That's
you tweeting
very
about
sad,
that. Very
yeah.
sad. You actually met him.
I did meet him. I met him a few times. A few times over the years, and I saw him perform a number of times. The last time I saw him perform was about 4 years ago, when he and a bunch of other great musicians from Canada's royalty, like Craig Northey and people from the Odds and people like that, they performed. We did Brain Candy, the Kid in the Hall movie, live,
Yes.
and Gord Downey led the band, and he was amazing. I mean, such a rock star,
Yeah.
and a kind man, like a sweetheart, and sexy. Like,
Was he
really,
sexy?
I found him extremely
Oh.
sexy. Yeah, very charismatic.
Loved
I
his
mean,
country, too.
Yeah, he did.
Another one we lost last year, Gary Shandling, who
Oh,
you
yeah.
worked with on the Larry Sanders Show, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
He was a genius,
Yeah.
another genius, and he was a great mentor to me. And this is the funny, horrible story.
Oh, we like those.
The year before he died, I hadn't spoken to him in many years, and suddenly, out of the blue, on Twitter, I get a direct message from Gary saying, Scott, if you come to LA, look me up.
That was a good voice.
And I'm like, that's great. He goes, yeah, make sure, we get in touch. And I was like, oh, that'd be great, Gary. And I go, I said to him, yeah, because let's make sure one of us isn't dead. And then he was. I mean,
That's weird. You're a
it's funny.
soothsayer.
I was, and he went back like, haha, you're right. As if because we're going, time's marching on, right? And then.
It's a very, cliche but important thing to remember. It could be any day for any of us.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a shocker. That was
Yeah.
definitely a shocker. But just an amazing, amazing comedian.
Yeah, he was. And so were you.
Oh, thanks.
Do you find, though, one thing I want to talk
Heart's
about
done this
is
one.
they're still coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're there.
Oh, damn.
They're right here, Scott. Now, I don't want to shock anybody, but both Scott and I are of the same persuasion.
Right.
We're both gay.
Yeah.
Don't know if you knew. But our generations are very different. We've talked about this
Yes,
off
we
air
have.
before. How do you think it's different for comedians starting out today versus when you were starting?
Well, it's way easier.
Yeah.
I mean, for a gay comedian?
Yeah, right.
Way easier, and I'm very jealous of him. There's a part of me that's quite jealous.
That's why he won't follow me back on Twitter.
Am I not? I'm going to now. I will now. Totally forgot. It's now, there's so many
Do you
gay
think it-
male comics now, and I'm very happy for them and thrilled.
But you're very successful in spite of having those roadblocks.
Yeah.
How do you think it hindered you starting
Well, I
out?
couldn't have been a stand-up back then.
Okay.
No, I mean, and actually, when I first started out, in the mid-'80s, when I was a kid and I first started out, and I met the kids. I just met the kids in the hall. I used to do like an open mic at Yuck Yucks, but I went about 3 times, and the atmosphere was so homophobic from the comedians and the audience. You can't, AIDS was just beginning. It was a nightmare. That I went, and my 3rd time I got called a faggot by someone in the audience, and I went, I'm out of here. And then I met the kids in the hall right after, and that's when Buddy Cole came to me, and I thought, oh, I can hide under my characters. But now you can be yourself. The thing that's holding us back is that we're a minority group that has 0 support from our own minority group. And that's the thing that's stopping any of us to go to the next level.
Bunch of jealous bitches.
Yes, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
All gay men think they're hilarious. You're not.
I'm going to use that line for Jesse
they
on a
all
daily
think they're
basis.
stars.
He just said I am, though. We are.
And so we don't support ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's never been a single gay male comic to go to the next level.
Isn't it interesting, though, that you would achieve such success as a sketch comedian, but it couldn't translate to stand-up? It's so because you were so popular on Kids in the Hall.
No, stand-up is something gay men only go to see women. They only
And it's
go
funny,
to see women.
all of my favorite stand-ups, except for you, are women.
Yeah. Most
Joan
of
Rivers.
mine not most
Really?
of mine, but half of mine are.
Yeah.
Really, and see, I don't vibe with female comedians as much because I find that they're always talking about the same thing.
Well, you see,
sex, their womanly issues, where it's like, no, you can be a woman stand-up comedian and still talk about what's going on. Like, I take Amy Schumer as an example.
Yes.
It was just sex and this and that, and I was like, come on, talk about something that both men and women want to relate to and listen to and find funny, any current events going on, whatever it may be. So I have a hard time with women.
There's a lot of women just killing it out there right now and doing really well. I don't know who their audiences are. I mean, is it mostly men that go see? I mean, because I've heard that women don't go see women either. Like here's the most supportive is lesbians. They're the most supportive of each other.
And they support their own kind, too, big time.
Their own kind.
They do.
They do.
I mean, I opened for Deanne Smith when she was here last month, and it was all buzz cuts. The whole audience, just buzz cuts. It was crazy.
Sorry, I just
nothing
put it in
wrong with a
there.
buzz cut, I'm just saying.
Well, for some it's wrong.
Jenna might not be able to pull it off. I don't know.
I have a
They
pointy
could do
head.
A few more page boys.
Yeah, there you go.
Just a few more page boys.
Speaking of Buddy Cole, though, that's who I want to be when I grow up. I love Buddy Cole, and I'm such a bad fan because I just ordered Buddy Babylon when I found out you were coming in. I haven't read it yet. Don't read it.
Don't read it because what's coming out in 2018 is the 20th anniversary of Buddy Babylon with 50 pages put back in that they cut out at the beginning.
Oh,
so
the good
you
stuff.
gotta wait to the the director's cut.
Oh wow, I can't wait. I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah.
Have you written any other books?
No, I mean I wrote a graphic novel called The Hollow Planet, and I've got the second one coming out, and I'm trying to turn it into a television series. Yes.
Oh, that would be great.
Yes, but and I'm hopefully writing. I'm doing a Buddy Cole one-person show. I'm doing a Buddy Cole show in LA. I'm going to take it on the road, and I'm hoping that there'll be another book.
Is the show that you're working on, is that the pilot you're writing right now that you're shopping around?
No, the pilot is a Danny Husk pilot.
Okay.
Who is my businessman character, and that's based on the graphic novel The Hollow Planet. But the Buddy Cole thing is a show called Après le Déluge, and it's the Buddy Cole monologues after television. So the monologues that I wrote from 1995 to today. So none of them have ever been on TV, and there's about 14 of them, but I've winnowed it down to about 8 or 9.
Okay.
But it's basically a story. It's the progression of Buddy Cole from 1995 to now. Because I've always written for him. Because there's certain topics that I find I can't tackle, but Buddy can. Like for some reason, he's unimpeachable.
He really is.
He can say anything.
Kind of like Donald Trump. Unimpeachable.
In a way.
Weird,
He's
twisted
you know
way.
what? I think he'd get along with Donald Trump better than you think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Not only because Donald Trump's probably paying him a lot of money, if you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he definitely.
A gentleman, Hassan, sorry to interrupt you there, says a Buddy Cole Netflix show would be amazing.
That's what's in the works. A Buddy Cole special.
You know, I could even see Buddy like hosting a late night talk show or something.
that
Could you
would be
imagine that?
Yes, I've been pitching that for years.
Oh, let's do it. I would love
Let's
to
do
see
it.
that.
Jesse's like,
That's
I'm
what
in
late night
too.
needs, really.
It does.
They really do. They need to really, they basically need to turn it over, just like upset the apple cart. And Buddy
Yeah.
Cole is definitely underneath that apple cart.
Buddy Cole really can do whatever he wants. I remember last time you were at Yuck Yucks, he was wearing a turban,
Yeah.
cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything. People loved it.
I know. I can't believe it. People, you can't do it. I do it all the
yeah,
time.
you do everything.
You can't say that word. I say it all the time.
Speaking of comedy TV, you also had an 80s era punk band.
I did.
And there's a documentary coming out about that.
Yes, there is.
What was the band called?
Mouth Congress. Mouth Congress. And it's actually, I don't know, if it's a Hindi term from the Kama Sutra, and it means oral sex.
Wow.
And,
I learn something new every day.
Yeah, and
Really do.
so yeah, Paul Bleed and I fronted it in the mid '80s, early '90s. It was when the Kids in the Hall, when I was doing both.
Yeah.
And there was a point in my life when it's like, what's going to take off, the band or the Kids in the Hall? And the Kids in the Hall took off.
Awesome.
But we're making a documentary that will hopefully come out next year.
I got a question here from Hassan as well. He goes,
Oh.
do you have any information about a possible Hannibal season 4?
Yes, I do.
Oh!
I guess the question is, are you willing to share that, or are you allowed
Yeah,
to share
I mean,
it?
I'm allowed to share it, actually. I mean, nothing. Again, it's like the Kids in the Hall. It's in the works. So I'm hoping it happens. If it's not a 4th season, it'll be a movie.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, Scott played Detective Jimmy Price on Hannibal. Jimmy Price, it sounds like that could be Buddy Cole's boyfriend or something.
It really does.
Good porn star name.
It is a porn star name. I know, Jimmy Price.
Maybe you can have a spin-off.
Jimmy High Price.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time doing that show.
Is it as scary to be on set as it is to watch it?
No, it's the complete opposite.
Oh, okay.
Out of all the sets I've ever been on and all the shows I've ever been part of like that, it's the happiest, most light set.
That's so
Wow.
funny.
Isn't that weird? Like, they'll go cut and then people are drenched in blood and it's a joke.
Yeah, I have heard that before, how when you watch it, the final cut, when they add the filters and everything and the treatments, it's like a whole new show for you,
Yeah, I mean,
too.
the only thing is sometimes some of the prosthetics and some of the, the special effects are quite grisly and very, very realistic. The only one that really, really threw me was the charred child. And that was the little kid that was in a fireplace. Now, they wouldn't allow it on television.
Oh.
So it really just traumatized us because they cut the whole sequence. But it lives out there now, but they wouldn't put it on TV. But it's like a little boy found in a fireplace. And that was a very realistic charred child. So after they wrapped the show, I took the charred child, and now it's on my wall.
Oh, wow. Well, it's the time of year. Happy Halloween.
You got to face your fears, right?
Well,
guess
it's such
so.
a realistic-looking charred child. I can't stop saying charred child. That's a good band.
There's a
Charred
new
Child.
character.
There's a good vocal warm-up before your show.
Charred child.
Char Child.
Or a new
Char Child.
character. Char Child. Bobby the Char Child.
Yeah.
Now, I know I studied theater at college. I know a lot of
too.
stand-ups. You did too. A lot of stand-ups started out wanting to be serious actors.
too.
So you must have loved getting the opportunity during Hannibal.
Yeah, I went to York University to study acting. I had no intentions of being a comedian. And
Yeah,
then they met the
same here.
Kids in the Hall and it all changed. But no, I wanted to be a serious actor.
So you love that still, obviously?
I like acting more than anything.
Yeah.
Even when I'm playing, even in stand-up comedy, I really enjoy it. But I deep down feel like I'm playing the character of a stand-up comedian.
That's what I tell people too. I'm
Yeah.
really an actor pretending to be a comedian.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah, it does feel like
Gilbert
that.
Gottfried was here last month. He said the same thing.
Did he
I
really?
think a lot of us feel like we're just imposters.
Yeah. I know how to do it. I know it, but I'm really it's a character of mine, stand-up comic.
Yeah. Now, you're Canadian. We're in Ottawa, obviously. You were also in an Alanis Morissette video.
I was.
She's an Ottawa native, hands clean. Jimmy actually told me. I didn't know that little trivia about Scott Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was cool. What's she like?
She was very nice. She was very nice. She was trying to do stand-up comedy at the time.
Oh, was
Really?
she?
Yes. It didn't work out for her. But
Things did work out.
Other things worked out for her. But here's an interesting story about that shoot years ago.
Oh, this is going to be good.
This is good. I'll never forget doing that shoot because the boom guy was my favorite porn star.
What?
Oh, yeah. And there he is, and he's like his.
What was his name? Whispered
I'm
in my
not
ear.
saying
Whispered
his
in my
name. I can't say his name.
Tell me off air.
But I will. And I remember listening, going, oh my God, I know him. I know all of him. And he's like a boom guy, and I'm like, oh, that's why he's got such nice arms. But
Wow.
that's LA, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, you can quite often go, oh, my barista's my favorite porn star.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever, however you can get work out there, right? You
Yeah.
still live there.
Oh, you still do porn? Yes, I still do porn.
Have you ever thought about moving home?
Have I ever thought about doing porn? All the
Canadian
time.
porn, though, I don't know.
Well, that's a good... Is there a genre of Canadian porn?
I don't know, but it would probably have one of those weird filters over it, like a lot of Canadian shows
I don't know,
have.
we both turned to Jenna for that question.
But don't you think there would be a really good, like Jagmeet Singh, Justin Trudeau scene, wouldn't that?
Hey, now.
Hot?
And I mean, we have beavers as like one of our national animals. There has to be a beaver tie in
Oh
there.
my God, I would love that. Like, you know what I mean? He
Maple
takes his
syrup.
turban off and his
Yeah.
hair down, then he whips Trudeau's ass with his wet hair. Then he ties it back up. Trudeau's crying.
How much further can we go before they just shut the camera off?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That's okay. Lots of people are laughing at us, and that's
Good.
all we care about.
Yeah. Now, you know, Halloween is the gay Christmas. Are you a big Halloween fan?
I am, yeah.
Do you have plans this year?
Not yet. I'm on the road.
Yeah, you're busy. You're working.
So I actually, Halloween I'll be doing stand-up comedy, playing my favorite character, the stand-up comedian.
There you go.
I see what you did there. Do you have a favorite costume over the years?
This is funny.
Yeah.
I was telling someone this the other day, and they looked at me like maybe they shouldn't be friends with me. It was one of those because they asked me the similar question: "What was your favorite costume?" And it was in grade, and it basically set the pattern for my entire life. Grade 7, I won the school best costume, Aunt Jemima.
Oh, that
Drag
go over well these
and
days.
blackface.
Oh no! Imagine that in
Aunt
2017.
Jemima.
Wow.
Those pictures will come back to haunt me. Some social justice warrior. Did you see Scott Thompson when he was 11 playing Aunt Jemima?
I can hear them clicking on the keyboard already.
Yeah.
Google search.
Bring him down! Bring him down!
Is that the same turban you use on stage today?
No, it wasn't a turban, it was a head wrap.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. Let's just leave it alone.
But
Okay?
I was so proud of that character. I got to do my 2 favorite things. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're almost done, but I have to ask you about one more thing. You got kicked out of university.
I did.
Tell that story, please.
I got kicked out of York University in my final year because of behavioral issues. Yeah.
Like not attending or like
no,
pranks?
I attended.
Class clown.
They didn't want me to attend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Class clowning kind of behavior. I was what would they say? I was a handful. And I was studying theater.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a comedian, but I didn't know it yet. So everything I did, I made fun of. Like Shakespeare, I mocked Shakespeare. I mocked Brecht. I just mocked everything. And I was kind of also a little violent.
No.
Only
a little.
Well, I'd never done anything before. Like, I come from a very large family. It was all boys. And in all the improvisations and that, everything turned violent. And so I was kind of a crazy person. And so the teachers couldn't handle me. And they kicked me out because I did a Montgomery Clift show where I played Montgomery Clift. And I kind of broke a glass and I stepped in it and I had my feet all bloody. And it was like a real punk performance. And they just couldn't handle me. But then they threw me out of school, and then I got drunk that night with a bunch of my friends in the class. We went back to the school, and I peed on all the doors of the teachers. They kicked me out, and then I went to my studio, and I scratched my name with scissors on the floor.
Good for you.
They probably have it like cut out and framed
Yeah,
now
yeah.
on the wall.
And so they basically threw me out, but in a way, it was good for me because it drove me. Like, my first 10 years, at least, were driven by revenge.
Yeah, well, look at you now.
Yeah, have you ever like run into any of your
But
old
I've been asked
professors?
to speak at York University a number of times, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
No.
You should
funny.
take the opportunity
I
and
might
just
now.
rip
Now
into them.
Now I'm mellow. So, I am. I'm quite mellow now.
I feel like that's a sign of success. I know there's a lot of famous people that have dropped out of school, and look at them now. They even asked me to leave theater school. They told
Where
me
were you? Were you at
I was at
Humber?
Humber, yeah,
Humber?
and they told me I was too commercial to make it in theater,
See,
so
what
they
is-
encouraged me to leave.
What a ridiculous thing. Only
Yeah.
Canadians would say that. Too commercial. You might make money.
Yeah.
What madness.
Well, you know, theater people don't like that. And I had
No, they don't
super
like that.
bleached hair, self-tanner. It wasn't good.
So it
Puka
looks
shell
like
necklace.
pretty similar to
Yeah.
now, just
Yeah.
with a puka shell
And
necklace.
no necklace.
Do you have a puka shell necklace?
No, I don't.
We
He
should
just
bring it
looked
back
at my
though.
shirt. I like your shirt. He's got a bit of leather shoulder going on
I
here.
do.
might have to
Leather
borrow that.
pants. Look at us.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
This
who
is
uses
the real leather
You got leather
special.
here.
Oh yeah, leather shoes.
Yeah.
And a leather belt.
There you go.
All right, well, you know what? Scott is going to be at Yuck Yuck starting tonight all through the weekend. If you would, I'd love you to take us out. Thank everyone for watching. Give us a little Buddy Cole, will you?
What do I say?
Thank you for watching.
But then, here's the thing.
Or tell them to go.
Buddy would never appear like this.
That's right.
If it was just radio, I'd do it.
I'm just trying to get a little Buddy.
I know.
I love him so
You
much.
know what I mean? Would you want Buddy to look like this?
I think he looks just fine like this.
No. You wouldn't want that.
Well, if we want to go out on a good note.
Yeah, we do.
I'll do it as myself.
Okay.
If it was just radio, I would do it, but not.
I was just going to say, one person said they're going to dress as a charred child
At
for
the show
Halloween.
tonight.
We need more costumes like that.
Yeah, okay.
Charred children.
Scott,
If I did Buddy, you could put one of those filters on, one of those apps that, like a Queen app that makes everybody look queeny.
we could
You know what I mean?
if
But
we weren't
no.
live.
I'm just going to say, what do I say? What do you want me to say?
Well, say come see me tonight at Yuck Yuck.
Oh, yeah, come see me, because I can't do because Buddy's not appearing in the show.
Okay.
Come see me tonight at Yuck Yucks at 8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock?
I don't know.
And
Oh,
then-
Dan, the owner, doesn't even
Dan
know.
doesn't know. And then
After it gets dark.
when it gets
After-
dark, yeah.
So,
And
like
the
6?
street lights come on. And then tomorrow 8 and 10, right?
Now 7 and 9:30.
7 and
All right, just
9:30.
follow him on Twitter, Scott Thompson _
Go to Yuck Yuck's website.
We'll have all the information.
Website. Don't bother us. And I promise I'll have new pants on.
Yeah, he gets in here. He was just so excited. He ripped his pants. What actually happened before we go?
Nothing happened. I've
it
been
the
on the
style?
road too long, and I lost. It's a long story.
Well, Kids in the Hall Twitter account just retweeted us, by the way.
Nice,
Okay,
Kids
good.
in the Hall. We
Good.
love Kids in the Hall. Fingers crossed for that reunion.
me
Give it up for Scott Thompson, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
That was great. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.